Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Wenatchee City Council has a new appointed member. We'll tell you who it is coming up. Chelan-Douglas Port Commissioner J.C. Baldwin has spent 6 months on the state's Transportation Commission, even though the legislature has yet to vote on her nomination. A mix of clouds and sun Saturday with a chance for some showers on Sunday. Your complete weekend weather forecast is coming up. Luke Davies, the chief administrator who helped steady the Chelan-Douglas Health District at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, is leaving the agency effective March 1st. The two-county public health agency announced Davies' resignation in a press release this morning. The Orondo native became director in January of 2021 after the health district underwent major upheavals, including a series of 3 interim directors in just 6 months during the pandemic state of emergency. The health district says its governing board will work to transition to new leadership over the next month. Davies told NCWLIFE News earlier today he feels the timing for his departure is right.
I was really glad for the opportunity to come back to my hometown and serve the place where I grew up. And so, having gone through COVID-19, worked with the incredible staff that I've been able to work with here. I've been really thinking for the last couple of months about, what does the next step look like? What does the next step for the agency look like? What does the next step for me look like? And really came down to deciding probably the best thing for myself and the agency is to look for different opportunities and to encourage and improve or to help the other staff and management transition to a new beginning, a new chapter. And it felt like the right time to make that transition.
The operations director for the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce is now Wenatchee's newest city council member. Chelsea Ewer was named last night to take the vacant seat left in Council District 2 after Mike Poyer was elevated to mayor. Ewer, who's 39 years old, was one of 9 applicants to fill the post. She was appointed by a vote of the council after a series of candidate interviews. She told the council she wants to put housing and economic development on the top of her agenda. Governor Jay Inslee has joined forces with the Washington State Department of Commerce to devote $85 million in grant funding to add roughly 5,000 new electric vehicle charging stations across Washington. 5 new local stations will be coming soon as part of the project. Although the installation has not yet been scheduled, the locations have been determined. A public station will be installed at Pybus Public Market. A private station will be added at Douglas County PUD in East Wenatchee. And the remaining private stations will be installed at 3 different Catholic charity locations in Wenatchee. Yesterday, the entire Washington congressional delegation, including U.S. Senators Cantwell, Murray, and Representatives Schrier and Newhouse, sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack requesting a Secretarial Disaster Designation for the 2023 fresh sweet cherry harvest. The 2023 season brought extreme temperatures and heavy rainfall, resulting in an oversupply of harvest. Many growers suffered economic losses. If a disaster declaration is passed, as the letter urges, sweet cherry growers will be able to gain access to low-interest emergency loans that will help them into the 2024 season. When we come back, a Wenatchee man pleaded guilty this week to burglarizing a Douglas County fruit supplier and walked off with nearly $8,000 worth of tools and technology. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Chelan-Douglas Port Commissioner J.C. Baldwin has spent 6 months on the state's Transportation Commission, even though the legislature has yet to vote on her nomination. Baldwin was appointed last June by Governor Jay Inslee and testified Thursday before the Senate Transportation Committee, where 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins is a member. State law allows commission appointees to serve even if the legislature does not hold a vote before its current session ends March 7th. The committee may act Monday to recommend her nomination to the full Senate.
As a central Washington resident, sort of what unique perspectives do you feel like you can contribute to the conversation around transportation? We appreciate the regional diversity on the commission, and since a lot of our residents live in the central Puget Sound, maybe they don't always think about the unique opportunities and challenges in Chelan County and elsewhere. So what's your elevator pitch when you're in Seattle around the important needs statewide?
Okay, I'm just trying to think of how much of it I can actually say publicly. Honestly, the rural communities are so important and frankly quite underserved in so many areas, and transportation is one of those. And again, going back to preservation, I think you see more of more roads in disrepair in the rural communities than we do. I know it's everywhere, but I think it's more prominent in the rural communities, and that's where it's most important. Again, back to agriculture, we've got heavy trucks, we have product we need to get to our ports and across our state, and we need to look more closely at what we have going on in central and eastern Washington.
A Wenatchee man pleaded guilty this week to burglarizing a Douglas County fruit supplier and make off with nearly $8,000 worth of tools and technology. 35-year-old Nick Gwynn entered a plea Thursday in Douglas County Superior Court to 2 charges each of second-degree burglary and third-degree theft for a November 1st burglary at Oval Fruit Company in Orondo, where he stole tools like a table saw, chainsaw, impact hammer, and a compressor, along with 2 iPads. Gwynn was arrested by sheriff's deputies 2 weeks later. In exchange for his plea, he faces a likely term of residential drug rehabilitation rather than jail when he's sentenced February 15th. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, the 2024 Apple Blossom Royalty will be selected February 10th. In tonight's feature story, we introduce you to candidate Esty Gonzalez. Mostly cloudy and continued mild this weekend with a chance for rain on Sunday. I'll have all those details coming up in your local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
It's cold outside and time to make sure your loved ones are safe and secure at home during the cold months ahead. Aging and Adult Care has low-cost, in-home care options for seniors, adults with disabilities, and for caregivers assisting relatives or friends. Services like housekeeping, personal care, and home-delivered meals can make such a difference for you or someone you know. These services and more are available by calling Aging and Adult Care's offices at 1-800-572-4459.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
The 2024 Apple Blossom Royalty will be selected February 10th. Esti Gonzalez is the latest candidate to sit down for an interview with NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz ahead of the big day. Esti says she's naturally very introverted, but that her mom told her that running for Apple Blossom Royalty would make her more social. Esti says her mom was definitely right.
We were talking off camera just a little bit. Esti, that's a unique name. I've never heard of the name before, and it turns out there's a reason. It was made out of whole cloth. Talk about how you got your name.
Okay, so my full name is Christina Estrella. I have the same first name as my mom, so naturally she would just always come up with little nicknames, and Esti stems from my middle name, and it just stuck. All my family calls me that, or by my middle name to not get it confused. All my friends call me Esti. Some of my teachers as well. They got really confused too with the whole Esti Gonzalez and not Christina. So, yeah.
But you have a unique name that you can call your own.
I do. It's like my own individual name, so that's why I chose to go by it during this whole process.
You mentioned your mom. You said your parents kind of, I don't want to say pushed you into becoming going for it back on November 6th at the mandatory meeting, but they played a significant role?
Oh yes, my mom, she really wanted me to do this whole Apple Blossom, and at first I was like, because I'm naturally an introvert, I'm very shy, and if you told me a year ago from today, I would probably be stunned and I wouldn't believe you, but she thought it would be a really good opportunity, and the more convincing she did to me, now I'm here. And yeah, they just really
Was Mom
me.
right?
She was right. It is very much, it's so fun.
Since you made the final cut for Pageant Night, how has that changed you?
I feel like I've gotten to be really social because I've always been known as a shy, quiet person, but now, especially all my friends and family, they were so surprised that I was doing this when they saw that I was one of the top 30 and that I had made it. They were even more excited and surprised for me. And I think throughout this whole process, I've also surprised myself at how outgoing I can really be. So I think that's how I've changed.
When you were behind the curtain at the Numerica PAC a couple of weeks ago when they announced the top 10, did you think, I think I might have a shot at this? Or, oh, well, it was worth it, and let's see what happens, and then they called your name? What was that like?
Really, I didn't expect any of it. Because I've had this mindset where even if I don't make it, I still got to experience all of this. I got to meet amazing people and work with amazing people, and whatever the outcome is, it'll be okay, and I will be okay. And then my name was the third one called, the second one from Eastmont, and my face dropped. My jaw dropped. If you ask any of the girls, I was just standing there like, and my vision blurred. All of them were jumping. It's like so excited. So I really didn't expect it.
So when your day is over, Esti, and the cousins are put to bed, and your homework is done, and you have just Esti time to be Esti and do whatever it is that you do that makes you a better. What do you do? What's your?
Usually, I just listen to music and just rest because, especially throughout this whole process, I've been really sleepy. So I just sleep. When I have that time, I take that time to just rest. Or sometimes I like to call up my friends and like update them on what's going on to keep them in the loop as well. And I like to draw. That's one of my like winding down times. So. Yeah.
What's it like to have artistic talents? I never had any of those things.
It's just so fun. Yeah. You know, I would compare myself to other artists like during a certain point, but I think as I've gotten older, just me letting out that creativity and like whatever inspires me, it's it's comforting.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday and a great Groundhog Day. That's right, it was Groundhog Day today. The groundhog did not see his shadow, so that means an early spring for us. No more an extra 6 weeks of winter. And there's a story behind this groundhog. Eric Granstrom and I used to do the morning show on KPQ, and one morning I was saying, how can anybody listen to a rodent and think he's right about weather? Well, Linda Hagland heard me say that and came walking into KPQ with this, and I've had it ever since, so just believe. Well, we're all believing that spring will be early, and we hope so. Boy, it looked like spring up in Okanagan County as we take a look at our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera. Actually, some blue skies up that way. We didn't see much of that around here. We had a lot of those low clouds, but a nice day up that way today. Here's Brewster, there's Pateros, Omak today, 50 degrees, your afternoon high temperature. All right, getting you into this weekend, even though we'll be pretty quiet here in the lower elevations in Washington, there is a chance for snow, and that does affect a pass in our area, Loop Loop Pass, up around Omak heading over into Winthrop. There may be some light snow Saturday into Sunday, so travel could be a little bit slippery as that snow freezes at nighttime. Be very careful traveling that way, or if you're traveling east over Lookout Pass Saturday and into Sunday. But boy, we had a pretty nice day here today. 42 our unofficial high, and even though that is nice, it's way below what we thought we'd see today. We thought we'd be about 47 degrees, but with the clouds just didn't get there. 37 is our normal high for this time of year. 52 our record, and that was set in 2005. 34 this morning, way above where we should be for lows at 26, and our record low, man, 1996 was a cold one. 7 degrees below zero. Picked up another 0.04 of an inch of rain the past 24 hours. Now almost an inch and a quarter this year so far, and almost 0.2 of an inch above where we should be. So good shape there. Sunrise 7:26. The sun set at 5:04. All right, taking a look at what we can expect getting into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures will still be unseasonably mild. A little cooler tomorrow, though. Mid-40s of Freda, Moses Lake, and Quincy. We will also see around 45 Wenatchee, Entiat, and Chelan. Leavenworth and Kashmir around 44. And Lake Wenatchee, your high temperature tomorrow at 41 degrees. All right, taking a look at what we can expect tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Here's that low pressure that's been around pretty much the entire week, but not much from it tonight. We'll just see some clouds out there. Low temperatures in those mid-30s. Getting into our Saturday, we will see mostly cloudy skies. Not much of a change, just a few more clouds for tomorrow. High temperatures in those mid-40s, so our temperatures will still stay awfully mild for this time of year. By Sunday, the area of low pressure moves inland finally, and that could throw some clouds and maybe some showers our way. Also, an area of low pressure in Wyoming is bringing some clouds back into Washington state, so that'll bring us about a 30% chance of rain on Sunday. By Monday, I think this will be our best chance for the wet stuff. Cloudy skies, a 40% chance of rain. Here's the low pressure, and it's bringing clouds and rain right back into central Washington. High temperatures Monday right around 40 degrees. For Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll just see a slight chance for maybe a scattered shower or two. You can see there's kind of pasted all over the state on Tuesday. High temperatures in those lower 40s, so we're going to stay pretty consistent temperature-wise. Getting into Wednesday, partly cloudy skies. I think we'll see a fair amount of sun on Wednesday. It will be mild with high temperatures still into those low 40s. Most of the colder air back into Montana, but still not bad. 20 degrees for Great Falls on Wednesday. And then Thursday, partly cloudy skies once again. It should be a nice day. Mild with high temperatures near 40 degrees. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. 35 overnight tonight, 45 for Saturday, mostly cloudy. A pretty decent start to our weekend, and then a chance for rain, especially Saturday, or I should say Sunday into Monday. We will cool down about 4 to 5 degrees as well, with scattered showers expected on Tuesday, and then just partly cloudy skies for Wednesday and Thursday, with high temperatures staying right around 40 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, I'll have a look at tonight's sports report as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Watch the Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant presented by Cashmere Valley Bank live on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Gold supporter, Town Auto Group, also by Apple Valley Honda, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, Boswell's Home Furnishings, and Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. It's the Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant live on the NCWLIFE channel.
Time now to take a look at sports. I'm Grant Olson in for Eric Granstrom. A new era began yesterday with the Seattle Seahawks. 36-year-old Mike McDonald was introduced as the new head coach to replace Pete Carroll. The introduction was made by general manager John Schneider.
So on behalf of Jody Allen and all of the 12s and everybody that's near and dear to my heart in this building, I want to introduce Mike McDonald as the new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
McDonald admits it's been a whirlwind this week after losing in the AFC Championship game last weekend to find himself in Seattle. He says he and his family are more than ready for the challenge.
This is a humbling feeling that I'm feeling right now in front of everybody, and I want to, especially everybody in the organization in the back. This is pretty cool. Just it feels like we're in this thing together, and this is a responsibility that my wife and I we take extremely seriously. We from afar, we're East Coast folks, but we've grown up on the East Coast, but we do have family out here in the area, and we've seen this organization operate from afar, and I've had nothing but respect for the ownership, especially John, how they've operated, Coach Carroll, the ability to compete for championships at a consistent pace, and how they play and the spirit of the players has been something that I respect a lot. And going through the process and meeting John and the leadership team, the first thing that really popped to me was the parallels of the organization that I've been working for 10 years and where I've really grown into the person and the man and the coach that I am today. And that was extremely appealing to me. And to hear John talk about people and how important that is was the driving force of why we want to be here.
McDonald follows the winningest coach in Seattle Seahawks history in Pete Carroll. He says he's always admired Carroll from afar, but will be his own man in Seattle.
Pete has a great personality, but it's his and it's authentic to who he is as a person. I think that's why the players resonate with him and why he has such a great reputation, and his track record is what it is. I have a different personality, and you'll get to know me, but my plan is to be myself every day, and you're just going to get me, so it's not a facade. There's no alter agendas or anything like that, but it's all about what's the best interest for the team, what's the best interest for the players, and how we can be successful. And there's a sense of humor in there, I promise. Some people like it more than others, but it'll come out. But it's just, if you're trying to be somebody you're not, it's one, it's exhausting, and two, people see right through it.
McDonald comes to Seattle after being the defensive coordinator in Baltimore under John Harbaugh. He also served the same position at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. He says he's learned a lot working with the brothers.
Those guys are some of the most authentic, competitive people I've ever been around. And the players know when it's real, and they love their players, and they have their players' backs, and they're willing to do whatever it takes, to put them in a position to succeed. And sometimes it's tough love, but it's telling them the truth, being respectful. They go about it two completely different ways, but they end up in the same spot.
McDonald says he's already underway in the search for his coaching staff, as well as addressing free agency with the Seahawks organization and the potential to bring other players in. Well, Eastern Washington had a miserable shooting night in a road loss at Montana State in men's college basketball last night. Eastern shot less than 50% from the field and was 2 of 18 from beyond the arc in a 70-60 loss. Casey Jones was one of only 2 players in double figures with 12 points for the Eagles. Jadia Martin's three-point attempt at the buzzer missed, and Eastern Washington women fell to Montana State 62-61. The Bobcats' Taylor Jansen hit a three-pointer with just under a minute to go to put Montana State up for good. All 5 starters, meanwhile, for 19th-ranked Gonzaga were in double figures last night as the Bulldogs beat San Diego 80-52. Brianna Maxwell led the way for the Zags with 19 points. Well, a busy weekend for the women starts tonight with Washington State hosting 6th-ranked Colorado at 7 o'clock on the Pac-12 network. Washington hosts number 12 Utah, also at 7 on the Pac-12 network. Gonzaga stays in the kennel tomorrow afternoon with a 2 o'clock tip against Pacific on ESPN+. Montana visits Eastern Washington, also at 2 on ESPN+. The Pac-12 ladies switch for Sunday with Colorado at Washington and Utah at Washington State. Both games start at noon with the broadcasts on the Pac-12 network. The men play tomorrow with Eastern at Montana at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. Washington plays host to Washington State, also at 6 on the Pac-12 network. Gonzaga hosts St. Mary's tomorrow night at 7:30 on ESPN. Well, the Wenatchee Wild have 2 road games in Western Hockey League play this weekend, beginning tonight. Wenatchee's on the road at Kamloops tonight to face the Blazers at 7 o'clock. The Wild return to Washington Sunday for a game at Everett at 4:05. You can hear the call on radio locally with Austin Drawdy on 560 KPQ. The Wenatchee girls bowling team brought home hardware from the state bowling tournament for the 2nd year in a row. Wenatchee took a 4th place finish at Bolero in Tukwila yesterday, finishing behind state champion Kamiakin, Emerald Ridge, and Skyview. Eastmont finished 5th, just 89 pins behind the Panthers. Now checking the Les Schwab Prep Boys basketball scoreboard from last night. Chelan-Edge Cashmere in Caribou Trail League play 53-47. Quincy bounced Cascade 69-20. Pateros downed Wilson Creek 59-44. It was Moses Lake Christian. They cruised by Cascade Christian 77-33. Meanwhile, in girls play, Cashmere dominated Chelan 64-24. Quincy got by Cascade 34-29. Pateros peppered Wilson Creek 53-9, and Cascade Christian earned a 30-18 win over Moses Lake Christian. On tonight's schedule for the girls, it's Eastmont at Eisenhower, Moses Lake hosts West Valley, and Ephrata plays at Sela. All those games start at 5:45. Waterville-Mansfield hosts Riverside Christian at 6. The B schedule tonight for the boys has Lake Roosevelt at Columbia Burbank at 6, while Manson hosts Tenasket. Okanagan visits Liberty Bell, and Thorpe hosts Soap Lake. The Waterville-Manson boys take on Riverside Christian tonight, tip time 7:30. In Big 9 play tonight, Eastmont visits Eisenhower at 7 o'clock, while Moses Lake hosts West Valley. In CWAC play, Ephrata plays at Sela at 7 o'clock. The schedule for Saturday is pretty skimpy, with Brewster hosting the Manson girls at 6, while Liberty Bell visits Lake Roosevelt. There is only one boys game Saturday, with Wilson Creek hosting Thorpe, and that starts at 3:30. District wrestling tournaments get underway today in Yakima for the District 5 2A schools. That will be held in the Sun Dome beginning at 9 o'clock this morning. The District 6 1A and B schools will battle on the mats at Omak High School tomorrow starting at 10. The District 6 4A boys tournament is at Wenatchee High School tomorrow. It starts at 11 o'clock. The girls will wrestle at Eisenhower also at 11. I'm Grant Olson in for Eric Granstrom, and that's a look at sports. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.